So welcome, Francesca. Tell us about SDA Bocconi.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Thank you very, very much, Maria Cecilia, for organizing this session. We've been working together for quite a long time. And of course, too bad I can't be there in Bogota, in Colombia, and meet your candidates in person. But we can do it this time, this way, and hopefully very soon we'll be able to meet in person again. I think it's very, very important for the first meetings and of course for then the MBA programs, whatever program you choose. So my name is Francesca Roveda. I'm part of the recruiting and admissions office at Bocconi, located in Milan, Italy. What I'd like to do now is just to share with you a little bit of information about the school, about our programs, about admissions process. I will be showing you some slides, but please, let's keep it very informal. Get back to me with questions, with doubts. Both myself and Maria Cecilia can handle your questions. And I think we can learn much more through your comments than just simply listening to me. So be active. I hope that you can grasp the essence of the Bocconi MBA and Master's programs, but I would like also to receive your questions to make it more interesting. So I'm going to share the screen now, and I want to start. Let me see, can you see my screen? I think you can. So as I always say, how do you decide where to go? It is a tough decision. I mean, it's a very tough decision to decide, well, I'm going to leave my job, I'm going to study for an MBA, where do I go? There are people like Maria Cecilia that help students, not just in GMAT preparation, but in orienting themselves in this big crowd of business schools. And not each business school, not each program is the right program for any of you. So you really have to find the right fit between what you're looking for, what that specific school offers. So it is the first big challenge you have. It's not just GMAT, that comes later on, but selecting the school, whether to go for a program or not, whether to do that program that year in Europe, in Asia, in Latin America, in North America. So the location also plays an important role. So to this regard, I would like to say a couple of things about what is behind the curtains, what is behind the scene of your MBA or specialized masters. It is important to have a strong institution, and Bocconi on one side, which is the Bocconi University that has more than 100 years of history, is there with undergraduate offer. And then out of Bocconi in 1971, Bocconi, which is the School of Management, was born in organizing courses for companies who send their managers, their human resources to take shorter courses, about 2-3 days, 1-2 months, about marketing, about finance. So very specific short courses that answer the needs of the business community. And then within Bocconi, there is the Master's Division that runs specialized masters, full-time MBAs, executive MBAs, executive masters, and here you have a list, which are more addressed to the individual. For the full-time MBA, you talk to a person who is interested in investing in their human capital, as well as with a specialized masters. So they leave the job, they leave the country, they go back to study. And if I say go back, it's because they are all programs addressed to people who have a bachelor degree and who have at least a couple of years of work experience. So they decide that at that point of their professional and personal life, it's time to reinvest again in their human capital in order to be better equipped as a manager, as a leader in different possible functions or industries. Because if we talk about the master in food and beverage or the master in fashion and design, of course, you are focusing on the fashion and design industry, on the food and beverage industry, or MIMEP, healthcare, MAMA, arts and culture, and so on. So it means there is a specific industry, but you will be developing and achieving managerial components like marketing, strategy, finance, accounting, specifically focused on that industry. Because if you want to run, I don't know, a restaurant, or to enter a new market with and brand positioning a luxury good, or I don't know, running a museum, a music festival, you do need to have those managerial components and skills. For what concerns then the importance of the institution, also do look at the rankings. It's not the only element you want to be focused on, but of course we're very happy we are always included in the top international rankings, which recognize the rigor, which recognize the excellence of the school based on the companies that come on campus, based on our students, based on the faculty, based on many, many factors that, believe me, are not easy to be met constantly, but that's our efforts on a daily basis, which also brings us to the Triple Crown accreditation. So not many schools, 76 schools, only have these triple accreditations, which means there are 3 accrediting bodies that recognize the value and the standards that a good school has to meet and present. All this said, what are the reasons behind your MBA decision? So once you have identified the school and you want to have a school with solid roots, solid tradition, capacity to renovate and to look ahead, capacity of innovation, and these are all factors that both Bocconi universities have been cultivating during the years. And that's the reason why we are offering a program which we believe it's a very strong program, and in fact, which, for example, Financial Times and Economist well rank. What are the 3 reasons? There are many more probably, but for us, these are the 3 important core reasons behind our Bocconi MBA program. One is you want to be part of a very smart group of people, AAA people. What does that mean? A, in terms of aspiration to change. You don't start your MBA because you want to do exactly what you're doing now, maybe just a little bit better. Maybe you go back doing what you did before at a different level with a wider openness, but you want to start the program because you want to have a change, whether it's a change in function, in location, in industry. In any case, you're putting yourself into discussion. It's like, okay, I have reached a certain level beyond which I can't go. I want to have that kind of change. So you aspire to that. You want to excel as well. So it's not a matter of being arrogant, but a matter of being intelligently ambitious. So you want to be ambitious and you want to sit in a class with people who have that kind of approach and that kind of desire and urge to excel. And you also want to have and to develop a strong sense of social awareness. We want people who understand the value of learning from the others, the value of diversity, being in a class with people who come from very, very diverse backgrounds in terms of academic background, professional background, geographical background, means the possibility to leverage on this environment. Capacity to social awareness in terms of the faculty, in terms of the guest speakers that come on campus. So the capacity to include in your MBA experience all these ingredients, which are very successful and positive ones. Another aspect is you want to enter a cozy, diverse, and competitive environment. As I said before, you have people coming from all over the world. You have a small class size, about 100 people divided into sections, 15 one classroom, 15 the other. Fair enough, during the year, we will be mixing the 2 classrooms. So you will be exposed to a number of about 50 students. So the fact that you will be working with a French lawyer, with a Colombian engineer, with a Russian consultant, with the Indian engineer, economist. So people with very, very different ways of looking at the problems of working in groups. There will be challenging times because you're not used to work with such a diverse group. You're not used to face an incredible workload in terms of class preparations, exams preparation, group assignments, and then you have company visits, and then you have guest speakers, and then you have to work with the career service. So the menu is a very rich one, and you really want to get everything done. You really want to absorb though. You don't want to have, a nausea, but you want to absorb and enjoy and put into practice all the techniques, tools, skills, soft skills that you will be developing. And we believe that this is possible because of the small class size, again, about 100, and because of the format of the program, of the length of the program. Here is just a quick slide that shows you what you will be doing when. Of course, you can download our brochure. Of course, you can go on our website. So I'm not going too much into detail, but what I want to share with you right away is it's a one-year program through, as opposed to the typically two-year format in the United States, but it does have all the typical ingredients an MBA should have. So you start the first part from September until May. You will be working in class, taking from September to March, all together the same courses, in order to develop a strong managerial preparation at the 360-degree level. So you'll be doing marketing, finance, strategy, operations, supply chain. So all those core contents and courses that help you understand how a company works, help you understand how to move around a company. Together with that, you will be developing the famous soft skills about which we talk every single day, which are the reasons why companies come in to recruit you. They will never recruit you only because you're really good at numbers and reading a balance sheet and drawing a nice PowerPoint presentations or a business plan. No, that they take for granted. But your capacity to relate to others, to knock in the different ways, the different function offices. So to speak with the marketing people, to speak with the legal office, to talk to the accounting department or to the human resource people. You need to have a global picture of what the company is like, a global picture of the projects, and understanding how to talk to the different people. So communication skills, relational skills, decision-making, problem-solving, thinking out of the box, because you are all different boxes and you will be put into the condition that you have to listen to the other boxes and you have to be able to absorb and quickly change your mind and readjust. And that's not something that you can learn through books or through professors who teach you that. You can learn that because you have professors who are very MBA, full-time MBA faculty, dedicated faculty, because it's not easy to teach you guys. You are a big group of people with very different backgrounds, all very committed with this urge to, you know, come over here, put into discussion your background, wanting to absorb as much as possible. So it's a very lively and dynamic environment that has to be dealt with care and has to be exploited to the full. The second part, it's a bit more flexible, let's say more than flexible, you can personalize more. So there are concentrations, there can be concentrations in marketing innovation, entrepreneurship, and in finance. There is also a longer concentrations in luxury business management. It's in collaboration with LVMH, and that's addressed to people who have a very strong passion, not just interest in the fashion and luxury industry. You then have the project, which can be an individual project, an internship, a group project, or an entrepreneurial project. It's a very important part of your MBA because you put into practice what you have done in the first part. So it's like you do your internship with a company. It can be, I don't know, the launch of a new product, reorganization of personnel, can be any kind of project. But the idea is, okay, what I did in the first part, great, I put into practice. And it can turn into a permanent job offer because it's a great opportunity for you and the company to get to know each other. And if there is a possibility there, if you both like each other, sometimes it turns into a permanent job offer. The entrepreneurial project, there are many, not many, but every year there is a percentage of people who have maybe a family business or who have a very entrepreneurial spirit and they want to do their MBA to launch their own business. And so it's important to also start to practice on that through the project. You then have also the possibility to do the international exchange program. So if you want to internationalize even more your MBA, which is already international because you come from a foreign country, you come to Milan, international city for you, but if you want to add an extra international exposure, you can go abroad and take part in one of the exchange programs we have with very top business schools. And again, it gives you the possibility to personalize your study path because it's like, okay, when I go to that school because they're very strong, I don't know, on fashion or on innovation or on high tech or marketing, and because I want maybe to be exposed to another language, another culture. So considering these different items, you will be choosing the school with which you want to exchange. Then these are, let's say, reasons behind our full-time MBA. Behind all our master's offers, of course, full-time MBA and a specialized master, there are these three important ingredients. And I would suggest that you well investigate and well focus on such aspects also when considering other MBAs. So where are they located? We are in downtown Milan. Milan, it's not the capital of Italy, which is fair enough, Rome, but we are the financial capital, the fashion capital. So that's where everything takes place. And Milan is very close to all major European capitals. So very quickly you can reach London, Paris, Frankfurt, Munich. So you are in a strategic location on one side. On the other side, Milan, it's just a great city. I mean, I'm very, very Milanese. I'm very Italian. That's Piazza Duomo. These are the statues of the Duomo Cathedral. And this picture puts together tradition, history, art on one side, and innovation and the modernity looking in front of the statues, because Milan has been developing at an incredible pace in the past, I would say 10 years after Expo. So it's a very vibrant city. A lot is taking place in the city, but it's a very livable city. I've been traveling a lot in Latin America. I love it and I miss it so much. I have to be honest, cities like Bogota, like Lima, like Sao Paulo, which I absolutely love. For me, it would be kind of hard to live there because of the traffic, because of the confusion, which I love, but it's somehow difficult. Here, you can get everywhere by bike or by means of transportation. So it's small, yet livable, therefore livable, yet very dynamic and international. For what concerns the campus, we inaugurated last January 2020. And then, of course, lockdown, we were all at home. So we are fully leaving the campus, I would say, in the past some months. And every time I go to work, it's like, my God, this is an incredible place. Very modern, very innovative, very green, let's say, and open to the city. We have just inaugurated the 2 swimming pools, basketball field. So there is this inclusion also approach with the city and openness with the city that makes the campus not just beautiful from an architecture point of view, but also in terms of value. And the fact that that's Bocconi, so all the courses take place there. So the fact that maybe you are an MBA student or a Master in Corporate Finance student or healthcare or MAMA, arts and culture, you take your classes in beautiful classrooms, and then you walk out of your classroom, you run into students from other programs, you can much more easily interact with them, develop your network with people who are as brilliant as you are, with people who have a strong desire to change and to develop their professional and personal career. So there is a lot of food for thought, a lot of opportunities that can be even more easily grasped because of the campus that gathers all these students. The executive MBAs, for example, we offer, it's a global executive MBA. It's in collaboration with Rotman School of Management. So some modules are in Rotman, Toronto, some modules are in Milan, other modules are around the world, Mumbai, Shanghai, Sao Paulo, San Francisco, and Copenhagen. But when you're in Milan, you are in this campus here. So executive MBAs for the Italian executive MBAs and global executive MBAs, other specialized masters like executive master in marketing and sales or in luxury business management. So they have a more senior group of people and they can interact very easily because of the specific location that gathers all our students. Then let's move now to the admissions process. If we focus on the MBA admissions process, but on a general note for all our master's programs, what we look for is a person that has very, very clear ideas, a person that has undergone the decision process, focusing on why you really want to do an MBA or XYZ program. Why now? Professionally speaking and personally speaking, it is of major importance because maybe you're still growing your job. Maybe you like what you're doing. You're young, you're 27, 28. Why do you have to hurry up and do an MBA? Maybe you can wait a couple of more years, complete that professional growth, and then you go for an MBA. Vice versa, if you feel that you have reached a stagnant phase beyond which you can't go, and you feel that, okay, that cycle has been completed, I want to go for an MBA to keep myself and be ready for the next step, then it's a great time. Then why is that Bocconi? And then why, again, an MBA instead of, for example, an executive MBA if your age and work experience is borderline and can work both for a full-time MBA or an executive MBA. So all these three aspects, why that program, why now, why is that Bocconi, should be very clear in your mind, the answers, which allow you then to write your essay questions. So you have the online application form. There are a series of essay questions. You cover those in a very concrete way. Be yourself, be specific, give examples, allow our admissions committee to immediately understand who's behind those questions. We require GMAT or GRE. Let's get rid of this part right away. I know that you don't like it too much. In any case, you have to take the test. We don't have a minimum score required. The average score among our students is 665. If you take the test more than once, of course, we consider the highest score. We're not that mean to make an average. University degree and transcripts. The program is offered, addressed to people coming from any kind of bachelor degree, academic background. We look for your transcripts and your bachelor degree. 2 reference letters. That's also important. We have our own evaluation. We have your self-assessment, and it is important to have these 2 third parties that complete the picture. We don't care for big names, big titles. We want a person that knows you from a professional environment. It can be an academic reference letters, but one at least has to be professional one. They have to use the form contained in the application form. So you just indicate the email address and he or she will be receiving the direct link to fill out the form. English, the program is entirely in English. Your English has to be absolutely really good. We look for a score of about 100 for TOEFL and about 7 for IELTS. If you lived in an English-speaking country for more than a year, or if your bachelor degree was held in English, you don't need to take the test. And then the admissions interview, which is the very last part of the whole admissions process. So all these elements put together will determine the admission to the program. I would like also to spend 2 minutes about the scholarships and tuition waivers, because I believe Bocconi is pretty generous to that regard. We offer quite a good number of tuition waivers, scholarships that can be partial ones, up to 50, up to 60, up to 70%, up to 100%. And in that case, since they are all merit-based, we do have a minimum GMAT score. For the one up to 70, it's 680. For the scholarships up to 100, it's 700. For the ones up to 50 and 60%, there is no minimum GMAT score required. But of course, again, all the other elements together also with your GMAT have to be very strong, because merit-based means that merit emerges from the application process as a whole. I'm also going to share with you my email address here, because this is just the beginning of us getting to know each other. But if you want to drop me an email, schedule with me a call, share with me your CV, we can have a more one-on-one chat and better understand, again, if that's the right program, if it's the right time, if instead of an MBA, maybe you can consider another program, or maybe you just don't need to have any MBA because some other things can be done. So again, going back to my first slide, it's a tough decision. It's absolutely a tough decision. It's your first challenge in your MBA adventure. It will be an incredible journey. You will be a Bocconi alumni for the rest of your life. The network you develop, both with the faculty and with your classmates, and in any case, with the alumni from the whole association, is of incredible value. You need to have these ingredients in your application process, in your decision process, which are, first of all, passion, capacity to challenge yourself, because effort-wise, it really requires a lot, and the desire to really plunge yourself from day number 1 into this journey. A journey that you will be doing with your classmate, with the faculty, and with my colleague of the career service. Couple of words about the career service, because of course you do your MBA, you do your master's programs, because after that you want to have better job, different job, you want to re-enter the job market. How easy, how difficult it is. I would strongly recommend that you you go on our website and you find under the career service section, you find all the statistics about career service. In any case, what I can say is, for sure, there is an incredible support from my colleagues of the career service, not from the beginning, from even before the beginning. Let's say that the new application form will be ready at the beginning of August. You fill out your application form, you submit everything. We start to evaluate August, September, the application forms. You become hopefully an enrolled student September or October. We don't wait to put you in touch with my colleagues on the career service when the program starts, but we put you in touch right away. So you can start to get to know each other. They can understand what your vocational profile is like, what your goals are, and they can work hand in hand with you guys from the beginning and from even before the beginning, and in any case throughout the program. So there is a lot of career coaching, career counseling. Of course, there are companies that come on campus to recruit our students. So the support and the link between the business community and our students is a very, very strong one. Does this mean that we assure the dream job to each of you? Absolutely not. We assure a series of channels, of tools, of techniques, of contacts. The job has to be done by both you, the students on one side and the career service people on the other. For non-European students, I do have to share a couple of aspects. On one side, not just for non-Europeans in this case, the knowledge of the language for international students. So for all international students, if you speak a little bit of Italian, it's much better. So take some Italian language courses before coming to Bocconi, or we also offer those courses. So you break the ice beforehand, then it's much easier to pick up the language. And it does help you in terms of job opportunities and also in terms of, exploiting to the full your life in Milan, in Italy. For non-Europeans, there can be some difficulties and sometimes some issues related to the visa. So what I'm saying, it can be harder. It's absolutely very feasible to remain in Europe after your MBA, but it's not always very smooth. So it's something you want to keep in mind, these two aspects of the knowledge of the English language on one side, the Italian language on one side, and the possibility of dealing with visa restrictions and visa problems. I don't know what time it is. I spoke for half an hour. I think we have 45 minutes, so I could continue hours because I love this job. I love to deal with potential candidates every day. Why? Because they are, a source of energies and desire to bring innovation in their lives and hopefully in their professional environment. So this kind of gasoline, it's what really makes us continue and in a more and more energetic way. So let me see if you have questions. I don't know, Cecilia, if you want to conduct that part.
Yes.
Or
Francesca, we have a question from Alejandra. If you can mention the exchange programs that you have, you mentioned that you had some opportunities to study with other universities. Can you speak about that?
Yeah, I can. Let me just very quickly, because it's true, it's not easy to find. Just a second. Let me get this part and I'm going to share. So while I'm looking for the exchange program page, I can tell you how it works. So not everyone can go, in the sense that you asked for, just a second. Okay, I'm going to share again the page. You, sorry, here it is. Can you see this page? Yeah. So, for example, here you can see in Europe, we exchange with the ZADE, with the SEC, with HEC, IE, London Business School, and then you have very, very top ones in the United States. You have Kellogg, you have Cornell, you have a series of very, very top schools. The same applies to Canada, Australia, Brazil, China, Japan, Singapore. So it is not a long list, but we do want to have very good business schools. So when you look at this, at the program at the school, it's true. Do look at the rankings, accreditations, but I think that if you also consider the quality of the business schools with which we exchange, it can tell you a lot, because there is a mutual recognition of the value of the programs, of the students. How do you access that? You just apply for the schools you're interested, maybe 1, 2, 3, you select 3 schools. Maybe there are many people that apply for XYZ school, and so there is some more selection there, some more competition, sorry, there. Usually we can pretty much accommodate each of our students' request. How are they evaluated? Based on the performance during the first part of the program, in terms of grades, in terms of class participation, and also the reasons behind that decision of wanting to go to that program, because you believe that you will be achieving certain skills and contents that are beneficial for your professional development. So a series of aspects are kept into consideration. Yeah. One more thing is that your program, instead of being 1 year or 13 months, it can go up to 14 months, 15 months maximum, because it depends on the agreement that has been made with that particular school. And so the program can be a bit longer.
Okay, thank you, Francesca. There is a question here. Is there an incubator or accelerator for alumni or students at SDA Bocconi?
I'm not sure I got the question. Accelerator in what sense?
Like for startups, I would imagine for startups or...
Yeah, absolutely. That's a very good question. In fact, again, as I said, this is a very general management MBA, but for people, for example, who want to have their startup, or for people who want to have their entrepreneurial project, you have during the first part what we call Entrepreneurial Path. So a series of courses are focusing very much on that domain, let's say. And then you have the entrepreneurial project. So if you want to do the, instead of doing your internship or your group project, you choose the entrepreneurial project. And then also one of the concentrations can be in entrepreneurship. There is an incubator, there is, yes, a group of faculty and also of companies who help and advise and coach startuppers and entrepreneurs. So it is very lively and dynamic to that regard, yes.
Okay, thank you. Hold on. Can you share with us which companies are the top recruiters for SDA Bocconi students?
Yeah, there is, again, because not everybody can reach this page. Let me just go here. Here, if you go on the page, can you see it? You can see here a whole list of the companies. So you have the recruiting companies, and you have companies from different backgrounds. So in terms of consulting, in terms of manufacturing, in terms of fast consumer goods. Here, the top recruiters in 2020 were Amazon, Bain, Lilly, Infosys, McKinsey, Boston Consulting Group. So you have the whole list here. Top recruiters means they have been offering internships, they have been constantly recruiting our students, more than one. So that's the selection of the companies that have been working with us.
Okay, you mentioned that there was no minimum GMAT score, but that the score was important for scholarships. Now, do you have a minimum GRE score? And if I may add, do you have a preference for GMAT or GRE?
So no preference at all between GMAT and GRE. Let me put it this way. It's true, there is no minimum GMAT score required. For what concerns scholarships and tuition waivers, yes, we have set a minimum score. As I said, 700 for the scholarships that covers up to 100%, and 680 for the ones that cover up to 70%. But let's put it this way, maybe you get 700. There is another person that gets 740. So of course his GMAT is higher than yours, but maybe this person has maybe 1.5 years of work experience, has never had any international exposure, only speaks one language, and you with your 700, you have had a more interesting work experience, you have an international exposure, or some of the potential soft skills are there in a much stronger way. We don't care about the higher GMAT. maybe you will be getting the scholarship because together with the minimum score required, as we have said, you have all the other elements that are strong. So your essays, your reference letters, your admissions interview. Between GMAT GRE, no, it's absolutely the same. As you probably know, there is a GRE converter that shows us to which GMAT score your GRE scores are transformed into GMAT score. There was another thing I want to add. For what concerns GMAT, it lasts 5 years. So if you took it more than 5 years ago, you have to retake it. As you know, you have to study. I mean, you don't just get up one day and go there and do your GMAT. So it's also a matter of practicing, understanding how it works, a series of questions, many questions in a limited amount of time, aimed at testing logical, verbal, quantitative skills, logical skills. So do not underestimate the preparation of the test. One thing I forgot to mention before, you can submit application form without your GMAT. I mean, eventually you have to submit it, but not necessarily everything has to be submitted at the same time. So first you can submit your application form and you study for your GMAT and you let us have your GMAT at the second stage. So do not be in a hurry to submit application form right away, beginning of August. Think well about all the things we have said, get back to me, get in touch with our student ambassadors. You find all the information on our website, talk to them, try to understand from, you know, insiders, what the Bocconi MBA is like, what were their difficulties, their challenges. Once you have well shaped your decision, go ahead, submit the application, and then work on your GMAT and submit GMAT. The deadline for the next edition, which means MBA 2022, so it will be starting in September 2022, the deadline has not been defined yet, but it's usually half of April. So you should expect to submit at the very latest everything by half of April 2022 for the program starting in September 2022.
Francesca, do you have deadlines for the scholarships?
That's
like
a good question. Shame on me, I didn't mention that. That's absolutely a good question. So there is one application deadline for what concerns application. For what concerns tuition waivers, there are different rounds. We have not defined them yet. We have not defined the new scholarships yet. You can give a look though, what we are offering now, what we have offered for the current edition. And pretty much it would be the same. So we have scholarships just for Latin American students, scholarships just for women, scholarships just for people with degrees in law, political science. And if you're a woman, you come from a Latin American country and you have a bachelor degree in law, you can apply because you're eligible for the 3 of them. So you can apply for all of them. And for the scholarships, yes, there are different rounds. Usually, for example, if you submit everything by half December, you will have the answer by end of January. Half January, you will be getting the answer by end of February. So usually it's, I think, the first round is around mid-December. But I think that we will be anticipating that. So keep an eye open on our website. In any case, through myself and through Maria Cecilia, you will be receiving a warning when the new application form is ready together with the scholarships. But it's true, it's a good question. There are rounds and there are deadlines for the tuition waivers, yes.
Francesca, thank you very much. And yes, we can help you with the application process. Just you have my contact details. I've been bombarding all the participants with all the information about the presentation. So if you want to apply to SDA Bocconi, we'll be happy to help you review your application. Francesca, thank you very much. We have to close right now because we have a presentation. We will have a presentation from Georgetown University tonight following this one, and you will have the link. We also have, I'm going to share my screen. Tomorrow we will have Darden School of Business and Kelly School of Business, Indiana University at 6 and 7, Colombia, Mexico, and Peru time, and 9 p.m. Sao Paulo. So we hope you join us. And thank you very much for being here tonight. We hope to see you soon. If you haven't registered for the full event on July 10th, please do so at premiummbacontact.com. Hope to see you soon. Francesca will let you sleep. It's almost 2 in the morning, so
okay.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you very, very much to you, Maria Cecilia, and to you guys, and see you sometimes and get back to us to continue the chat. Arrivederci, buonanotte. Bye-bye.
Buonanotte. Bye.
Bye-bye.